So last night I was jotting down notes. These notes were for a video I had planned to put out today, but instead, thanks to Socky the Real, who posted a link in DM and on my Discord server, we are going to cover something far more screwed up. Before we do that though, I have a Sammich video.
Hello darling, it's been a while since we've spoken, but I am going to give you my contribution for Veganuary. I'm going to make you a sandwich with deli meats from the vegan section of your local grocery store. We're going to start off with some faux turkey, faux ham, some mixed herbs, and I assume it's supposed to be ham, I don't know. Don't usually eat this stuff myself, but I'll make it for you. A bit more of that. And then we shall add some watercress. You know, just a little bit, because, you know, the vegetables, they're a thing. Sorry, stealing a little bit. I can't help myself. And then some onion. Just for decoration purposes, really. And then we're going to add some of this red sauce to it. Just good drizzle of. I'm going to put that back into the fridge so that that can preserve. And then we shall put the lid onto this one. And give it a nice good slice up. So that you can consume this monstrosity that is, unfortunately, completely meat-free. And I'll give you a few extra slices of the onion, because that is delicious. Enjoy, dear Lord.
Now that I've prepared you as best I can for what we are about to discuss, perhaps it would be worth noting and reminding you of two children in the past, drag queen icons to the LGBTQIAPPZ Zog, whatever community. In fact, whatever might be another acronym to add to it. The first being Lactasia, and the more recent, Desmond is amazing, or as I like to really call him, Desmond is collecting tips from guys watching you gyrate on a stage dressed as Gwen Stefani. No cameras allowed though. Desmond is amazing. How's that for a name? There's nothing wrong with it at all. Do I need my sarcasm sign for that? To explain how this isn't progressive, this is decidedly enabling of certain communities. There are reasons we protect children, and it's from those very predators. They don't need a camera. Although it probably would help to have a camera in those locations so that when someone does get caught stroking one out while making it rain, like a good daddy, for those children dressed as Gwen Stefani on stages, it would be good to get them arrested and then summarily put on a register and imprisoned for a rather long time. Today though we have a new one, and this one gets under my skin quite quickly. So it concerns a Canadian boy called Nemes Quinn something Golden. I can't pronounce the thing under it, so I'm not going to try. Who was featured in a Huck magazine piece highlighting the life of a so-called child drag queen. Now it took me a moment to realise that this was in fact the same Lactasia that I had discussed on this channel before, but Queen Lactasia, as he likes to be called when he's on stage now, has been causing quite the stir on the drag circuit, whether it be promoting identity politics and the inevitable debate surrounding child drag queen. Some take the position of it is an abasement to youth, or of youth, or a way of manipulating young kids to pleasure or please an older person, and others think it's kids dressing up. I disagree. I think the first is accurate, the second not when it's been enabled to such a level that you are legitimizing everything about their identity and marketing it. Children should be kept firmly away from it. As many of you might not know, Lactasia became well known due to a performance by Bianca Del Rio at a drag show, where Bianca Del Rio brought Lactasia onto the stage. This video went kind of viral and propelled Lactasia, or Queen Lactasia, into some semi-fame. Now, while Lactasia's family try and keep Nemes, I'm going to use Nemes now instead of Lactasia, because honestly, knowing that Lactasia's fans are known as lactators gets under my skin just a little bit. So we're going to call Lactasia Nemes instead, as that is his name. The parents are doing a good job in keeping Nemes away from things that are too adult, along with too sexual. However, and this is where we get onto the meat of today's video, because the 10-year-old boy drag kid has been photographed with a naked adult drag queen. The picture was on Instagram and summarily removed, but this is the picture. I'm going to let you all get morally outraged in the comments now, and you are right to do so. You are right to be angry. This is not appropriate in the slightest. There is something hugely inappropriate about it, and weirdly enough, this wasn't the picture that made the cut for the magazine that they were taking a picture for. The drag race winner here is Violet Chachki, and in case you were curious, that's just a small piece of fabric. Very small piece of fabric. Congratulations, Violet. Now, in the Huck magazine piece where this picture was originally intended, and I will link the article below, Nemes's mother conceded that drag has a sexual component and is unapologetic about her young son wearing sexually suggestive clothing if it makes him feel beautiful, all the while at the same time wanting to keep him away from adult things, including being overly sexual, which seems like a contradiction. If you read the Huck article, you'll see it, with her being quoted as saying, and I'm going to read this quote in full, "Drag is an adult arena, and that's where people question our judgment, so we have to censor things. He knows there are adult aspects of drag that he's not allowed to apply to his show. We would never try to overtly sexualize our child, but if he wears something that makes him feel beautiful, what right do I have to stop him wearing that dress because it might cause people to think things they shouldn't be thinking? It's a circular problem. No, it's a opening of a window, door, a crack, just enough for a paedophile to slip in. People aren't thinking of anything wrong. They're worried of what other people are thinking. That's the average person. They worry about other people because they are well aware that they are not having sexual feeling." To add more quotes from the mother to how absolutely messed up this is, that video, the viral one I showed you a clip of earlier, happened and everyone went crazy, but we knew from the get-go we never wanted to lose control or lose sight of it being fun for Nemes. Now, according to Jess, drag is, quotes, how Nemes chooses to express himself. He's just a kid playing. There are many transvestites who would be quite offended by that term, and additionally being quoted as saying, "There is so much going on in the world right now, which is more horrifying and terrifying than my child wearing fancy shoes and a skirt. This shouldn't be on anyone's list of priorities." I think once you get to a point where the child becomes a face, an advocate for the LGBTQ community, now there's nothing wrong with advocating, however, when they are being heavily promoted to promote it, I think there's a rather interesting conflict. You see, it wasn't that long ago transvestites were being barred from LGBT pride events, but now when it suits the LGBT community in certain areas, they are more than happy to include transvestites, and even more so, use a child to drive a point home. There are many people that would abuse that child's position, and I'll be honest, stands more of a risk of screwing that child up when that child grows up, more than what a child actor would, or has been. It's almost cliche at this point. A child with fame ends up a junkie adult. You can be as careful as you want as a parent, but honestly, I don't believe for a second you could do a good enough job being a parent, protecting your child, so that when your child has grown up, they are not deluded, unintelligent, although smash the patriarchy. Yeah. Now, the article on the Daily Wire continues to talk about Desmond is amazing and points out the similarities and how they are being used essentially. I stand by points I made in that video, link below, because honestly, this is a level of messed up. We should not be promoting children to a place of prominence and authority when you yourself, the mother, have said they are just a kid playing pretend or dressing up, playing dress up, because then that person thinks they're doing something for a group when actually they don't know anything. They really don't. They are naive, and to you, they're just playing dress up, which means that there are people who are actual transvestites who are sat back thinking, when this kid's old enough, I'm going to scream in their face, because they're nothing but a fraud. And also there is the inherent risk, the obvious risk, that this child will be taken advantage of by others who seek to make money off that child. Almost as wrong as Desmond being on stage in a Gwen Stefani outfit collecting tips from people that undoubtedly made it rain and got him to call them Daddy. Now, before we finish, tonight, 9 PM instead of tomorrow, I'm doing an American Truck Simulator stream. Now, the reason for this is because 1, I am incredibly boring, and 2, there is a meaningful vote on the Brexit deal happening in Parliament on Tuesday. So instead, I want to talk about that on a stream on its own. And also celebrate my birthday then. Because who doesn't want to moan that it might get voted through, or at the same time it doesn't get voted through, or the vote doesn't happen at all? No one? Oh well. If you want to watch me drive a truck, quotes, drive, and crash into things, please check it out. I will, of course, link that on my community page on the main channel. So I hope you all have a lovely Monday the 14th of January, and thank you all for listening.